Shabbat Shalom, family. Shabbat Shalom. All right, let's get this order started. Please forgive me for my lateness today. I was handling some spiritual matters that I had to fix up with some of the family. So it's caused me to be a little late today, and you know I don't like to be late. So give me a second, please. Okay, I can do this like this. All right, let's do this like this right here. Y'all ready? Giving all honor and praise unto the Most High King of all creation, asking that He would guide my mind, my spirit, my body, my language, and my speech as I approach unto you, His people. Shabbat Shalom, family. Shabbat Shalom, Yeshaya, extra early today. All right. Do anybody, you guys, can you guys see this? You see what that is? It's a Star of David, they call it. A Dawid. Well, this is what today's class is going to be all about. This symbol, this star in the middle, and this circle around the outside, all of it has a meaning. But a lot of people don't understand it. This is what I usually wear around my neck, but my chain broke, so I can't wear it anymore until I get a new chain. And this here is so heavy that a regular chain, it kept popping, so I had to get a special chain for it. Well, my chain, it kept popping, because it was a designer chain. But I ain't no need to keep getting the chain fixed because the links are they're not strong enough. I need a better quality gold chain. And the one I got, 18 karat gold. But the links like that, and because this is so heavy, it keeps over time, it stretches to 18 karat because 18 karat is so soft. So it breaks it. So I've been without my medallion for a long time. Let me show you one more time. This is it, the Star of David. Now this Star of David sits inside of a circle. Everything has a reason and everything has a meaning. And I'm going to explain these things to you in a second. I just want to put this down for safekeepings so I don't lose it and nothing happens to it. All right, Shabbat Shalom, Ishi. Glad to see you here with us. We got so much to talk about today, family. We got so much to talk about. So again, I want to give my apologies for being late today. I was like 10 minutes late, I think, 5 minutes late maybe. Anyway, I was late. And I wasn't late because I was sluggard or lazy or doing something that I wanted to do. I was handling the Most High's business. And it took me over a little bit in my time frame, so I ask that you forgive me. Well, I was in error. I knew what time it was. But by the time I finished handling the business, I had some other things, personal things that I had to handle before I come up and stand before the people. So again, for the third, fourth time, I ask that you will forgive me for being late, tardy today. But may the Most High be pleased in all of our efforts. We're going to have a pretty good class today. At least I believe we're going to have a pretty good class. I can't guarantee anything how you're going to receive it, but I'm going to give it the best I know how to give it. So go out and invite all your friends, share the page, do what you got to do so we can get 10 times as many as we had last week in this class, because this is going to be a doozy. This is a very controversial issue that we're about to jump on because a lot of communities, a lot of Knesset, they don't accept the Star of David as a symbol for our people. They don't accept the Star of David as a symbol for our people. But I'm submitting to you today, family, that it doesn't matter if you accept it or not. It'll just be you missing out on some things that you could have partook of. There's a lot of suspense or accusations centered around the Star of David. A lot of people have their own ideals or concepts of what the Star of David is. It's not but so much information that I can share with you, that I'm allowed to share with you. I can only take you as far as I can and give you as much as I can without giving you too much, because I don't want anyone to choke off of any of the information. I know you probably saying, I can handle it. I can handle it. I know you are. Some of you probably are qualified to handle it. But I have to keep in mind that there are many here who are not qualified to handle everything that I would like to share with you. But I will do my best to share as much as I can so that I don't cause anyone to go into a distant place. Remember last week's lesson was talking about spirits and how you can hear and allow certain spirits or entities to enter into you through your ears or your eyes. Now, I wouldn't give you any negative entities that's going to slow you down from progressing toward the Creator. That can't happen from me or anyone like me. But at the same time, energy can be diverted based on the essence that you have, that you possess. So, for example, in other words, I give it to you like this. If I took a knife, sharp blade knife, 6-inch blade, really sharp, and I placed it in your hands, if the energy that you possess is about murder, rape, and pillage, then you're going to go and utilize that knife to do just that. But if your spirit or your energy is about righteousness, positivity, and the upliftment, then you can also utilize to destroy people, but yet you'll be destroying the people that come up against the righteous order and the righteous acts of the Most High and your people. So you see the difference in that? This one instrument can be utilized for both good and evil, all based on the energy that you possess. This lesson gonna be deep, y'all. I'm gonna tell you, this week already, we do some traveling right now. And if you ain't ready, you're gonna get left in the dust. And you still gonna be talking about, I ain't messing with that thing right there. But I'm trying to share some real jewels with you right now. Some real wisdom that you can take to your grave and beyond your grave, that a lot of our people miss out on because they don't understand these things. And I'm trying to share with you these things, okay? So you take that knife, you utilize that knife, you can cut your food up and you can feed 1,000 people with that knife. Or you can take that knife and go on a murder spree and wait in the dark and wait for somebody to come out and poke them in the eyeballs and blind them, torturing them to death. You see what I'm saying? So it's not about the instrument that's the problem. It's the essence or the spirit or the motivation behind the person utilizing the instrument. You follow what I'm saying? And a lot of us don't understand that. We'll pick up the Tanakh. A lot of teachers, so-called teachers, so-called teachers will pick up that Tanakh and break it down in a way to have the women like, oh gosh, I gotta be with this man. And then the woman go and she submits herself to this man, and he uses all these scriptures to abuse, to mentally enslave, to corrupt, to beat her up, to do all types of negative and evil things. But then you can take those same scriptures and put those scriptures in the hand of a righteous man. His essence is of a different character, is of a different nature. He'll take them same scriptures and bring about life into the woman. And the woman will elevate, the woman will grow, the woman will feel some type of joy like she's never felt in her life and maintain that same energy throughout the duration of her days. That's how serious it is when you are in the presence of people determining whether they are good or evil. They have the ability to do either or, but you're always going to lean towards your nature. And a lot of people's nature is evil because they seek not righteousness. They seek not the desires to walk in the ways of righteousness before the Creator according to His truth and not the truth of man, because there's a difference. There's a truth that exists, and it is truth, but it's the truth of man, not the truth of the Most High. That's a different place. The Magen Dawid, the Star of David, is an instrument provided unto the universe by the creator of all creation. What do you mean, Prince? The Magen Dawid exists in nature. And a lot of people don't even see it. A lot of people don't know nothing about it. Sometimes when you go out in the morning and you look upon the east, you look to the east, and all those who know what I'm saying, you understand what I'm saying. I didn't make a mistake what I said. You look toward the east and you'll see the sun rising above the horizon. You hear me, right? You hear what I'm saying, right? I think you know you think you understand. But I'm going to take you somewhere where I don't know if you're ready to travel yet, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. I'm not going to give you too much because I don't want you to choke, but I'm going to give it to you anyway. So open your mind. Get your notebooks, your pens, your paper. Write down. Take notes. Open your mind because I'm about to expand it a little bit. And I'm not talking about that stuff you hear in church. I'm not talking about that stuff that you hear in most of these houses of worship that pretend to be houses of worship or them YouTube pages you be on. I'm going to give you some pure knowledge. And when you get it, you give it. Share it, understand it, research it, and look it up. Okay? So when you look to the east and you see where the sun is rising early in the morning, right before it cracks, you'll see a symbol in the sky most oftentimes. And it'll be bang, 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 bang. Around the sun. It'll be in rays like this. It'll be a ray straight up like this, rays just like that, rays just like that, and one ray toward the bottom with the sun silhouette in the middle. You'll see that. That's the symbol of the Magen Dawid. Man didn't have nothing to do with that. So everybody that say, I ain't messing with the Star of David, I ain't messing with the Magen Dawid, that's evil, then you're saying the Most High's works are evil. You understand? Stop dealing with the knowledge of man. Remember how I started this lesson. You can take a glass bottle and you can break that bottle on the side and make it into a knife and jab somebody in their heart with it and thrust them and put them to death. Or you can take that glass bottle and take it down to the river and feed and give water and provide water for hundreds of people. It's not the glass bottle that is evil. It's the intent of the individual behind it. That person can take that glass bottle and murder his whole family. It's because his intent is evil. It's just that simple. Or that man can take that glass bottle and provide water or food or nourishment for a dog that is hungry and stray, that's out on the streets and have not a master. Understand what I'm talking about. Get your pens and paper, take notes and write them down because this information is going to be important. Okay? It's how you use it. That's right, Nat. Toda Rabbah. There are not many people put in this position to teach the things that you're about to be taught today. You can't get this from a lot of people. A lot of people have no understanding and can't travel in this place. I like to travel in the Most High's houses. All of his houses, I like to travel in. I have fun in the ones that I'm able to go in. I learn so much. You know, I experience so much. And it's not that you too can't travel in these houses because you can travel there too. It's just that you don't understand, most of us don't understand when we're traveling in the Most High's houses. When you sleep at night, you're traveling in one of the houses of the Most High. When you're awakened through the day, you're traveling in one of the houses of the Most High. These houses are built off of principles. And in each one of these houses, reality is as it is in that house. You understand what I'm saying to you? When you're dreaming, the laws of the dream world really exist in that realm. But when you wake up and you try to explain to somebody what you did in your dream, they be like, yeah, you was just dreaming. That wasn't real. It was real. But it exists in the dream realm. Understand what I'm saying to you. This is why it's so easy for me to teach that when you dream, if you will violate your brothers in your sleep, that means you'll violate your brothers in this active life. You're only going to dream and do what you would naturally do in the real world. Or if you've been introduced to a spirit in the real world, it can affect you in your dream and your spirit will consume you to let you know that this is what happened in your waking life. But you won't have the wisdom to see that you're being warned or to take knowledge of what's taking place. You don't. The European man has gotten a hold of us and told us that dreams is just dreams, when dreams are not just dreams. Dreams are the reality. Dreams exist on a plane that is absolutely out of this world. It has a world of its own. That's what the reality of dreams are. They're real. So if in your dream you ain't got a mate, you ain't got a partner, and if in your dream you decide, well, you know what, I'm going to take me some, then that's who you are in your awakened life. And even in your dream world, although you wake up saying, oh, that was just a dream, I ain't did nothing wrong, but you did. You violated the laws of that realm. That's why people don't understand so much. Oh, I didn't commit adultery, but yet you laying next to your husband dreaming about another man. You are guilty of adultery. And it's going to show and manifest itself in your essence. Okay? All right, let's go. All right, let's go. We're going to get it in, y'all. We're going to get it in. So go ahead out. Share it out, everybody. We ain't got enough people in the room yet. I'm trying to drop some jewels, but I got to wait till they come in. They can't come in unless you let them in, because I'm not going to touch the controls. It's up to you. Yeah, you ought to feel good about your future, Sister Kyella. You under my covering. And if you allow me to have my way with you, I'm going to take you into greatness, as long as you're willing to travel into greatness. I can't make you do anything that you don't want to do. You have to be willing to subject yourself to the ability of travel. And if you are, you're going to get there walking with me, because I ain't got no other choice but to take you there. That's what I just said. You be warned and you be told about what's taking place in your awakened life oftentimes. But that dream world is real. And a lot of people try to make you think that it's not, and it is. And it is. Okay? So today's lesson is about the Magen Dawid. Don't forget where I'm coming from, fam. Don't forget where I'm coming from. I haven't forgotten my place. I know where I'm at. I just need you to walk with me. Today's lesson is about the Magen Dawid. They call it the Star of David. What a lot of people don't know, let me start my lesson like this. I used to say a parable years ago. I haven't said it in quite a while. Anybody that's been walking with me for a minute, you might have heard this. So I thought to myself today how I wanted to open my lesson. And I wanted to open my lesson with this parable. And I want you to pay close attention, okay? I hope you got your pens, your paper, and your notepads. Or your recording devices, because this is going to get deep. There were 3 men who entered the Garden of Delight. 3 men entered into the Garden of Delight. All this ties back into my lesson and how I started. If you have the ears to hear, you'll understand. The first man, he came out of the garden and he died. The second man, he came out of the garden and he went crazy. He lost his mind. He was kookalook. He lost his mind. The first man went into the garden, he died. The second man went into the garden, he came out, and he was kook-a-look. He lost his mind. Well, the third man went into the garden, and he came out just as he was, untouched, unscathed, but increased in every way. My question to you is, what is the garden of delight? You see this piece? I'm going to show this for you one more time. You see this piece here? This is what they call the Star of David. And I'm going to give you a little bit of word. You see this word right? See this top part right here? This piece, this part holds this in a certain direction. So if I turned it like this, it's still a Magen Dawid. But now you're looking at the bottom. You're not looking at the top. This is the top of the Magen Dawid. Please pay attention to what I'm saying to you. This is the top of the Magen Dawid, where that piece is right there. It's a reason why this piece is on here, not just to hold it on my chain, but also as a reference mark, because this is the top. They call the top of it the apex. You know what an apex is? And even the foundation of it has a name. And I'm going to explain all that to you a little bit later. I'm going to put this piece back down for now. So again, the information that I'm about to give you is not words or not information that you're going to find with a lot of people teaching this Hebrew Israelite walk that are able to disseminate. So let's travel. Put your thinking caps on. Okay? I'm going to give you some words before I start, and I want you to write the words down, and I want you to look up the meanings, and then when you find the meaning of the words, I want you to post the meaning of the words inside the room as we speak. Okay? The first word I want you to write down is spelled N-A-D-I-R. Write that down. N-A-D-I-R. Look that up, and when you find it, post it in the room. Okay. All right. That's how you'll find what that word means. Look that up for me, please. It's another word. The next word I want to give you, because I wrote down everything I wanted to give you. Can't give you but so much, but this will be enough to rock your world. Here's another word I want you to look up. The word is spelled C-A-D-E-N-T. It's pronounced cadent. The word is spelled C-A-D-E-N-T. I want you to look that word up and hold that word, find a definition, post it in the room. Okay? I got another word I want you to look up. That word is C-U-S-P-S. Coops. C-U-S-P-S. Look the word up, hold that word in the definition, post it to the page. Okay? Whenever you get it. These words are very, very, very important. This next word I want to give you, you think you understand and you know, but I'm going to tell you to look it up anyway. This next word is the word triangle. When you look at the Magen Dawid or you look at the Star of David, which the proper name is Magen Dawid. Magen Dawid means shield of David. Why do they call it a shield? We're going to get into all that in a little bit. Okay? But it's Magen Dawid, which means shield of Dawid. You'll find in the scriptures where it says shield of Abraham, where the Most High tells Abraham, I will be a shield unto you, in the book of Genesis. And that word that's used for shield in Ivrit, in Hebrew, in our language, is Magen. Okay. There are two ways that a person can formulate a Magen Dawid. They can take the star, they can take two pyramids or two triangles and put one triangle on top of the other triangle like this. And they have one thing known as a Magen Dawid. Or they can take the Magen Dawid in its essence and interlock both sides, which means that the front will be in the front, but the other front will be in the back of the other one. And they're interlaced or interlocked. This interlocked Magen Dawid is much, much stronger than the one that sits on the surface of the bottom triangle. You have a triangle up top, you have a triangle down the bottom, you match them both together, you have this, and then you have that. And if you can see that, you'll see the Star of David, as we call it, the Star of David, in the middle of that symbol. That Star of David in the middle, that's interlocked, is a symbolism thing of unity. It represents unity. Now, how can two walk together except they agree? That's a powerful statement. And I'm going to teach you a little bit about that today that you probably didn't even understand what it meant. This unity that I'm telling you about, the Star of David, when one is over top of the other one, it's easy to break that link. Not that it's easy. Don't ever think that it's easy. But it's easier to break that link. That portion and everything it represents can fall down. But when they're interlocked, when the unity is involved, they're interlocked. If you push one down, you're pushing them both down. But the opposite effect is if you raise one up, you're raising them all up. Listen to what I'm saying to you, family. There's a message in my madness. Believe me, it might appear to be foolishness to you. It might appear to be madness to you, but it's reality. All right, my brother, I'm going to repeat those words for you again because I know you didn't get them all. So I'm going to repeat them for you again. Start from the beginning, okay? Nadir, N-A-D-I-R. N-A-D-I-R. I'm going to let you write them down. The next word is cadent. C-A-D-E-N-T. Cadent or cadent. C-A-D-E-N-T. The next word is cusp. C-U-S-P-S. You might have a little bit of problem finding this in the English language. I don't know. Search it, research it, and try to find it. These terminologies that I'm giving you, you may not find them in the English language, but do your best to find them. If you can, so be it. It will explain so much to you. C-U-S-P-S, okay? C-U-S-P-S. And the other word I gave you was triangle. Triangles. Look up the word triangle. Oh yeah, I did tell you about the apex. I did mention the word apex to you as well. Apex being that high part, the head part. Look it up. And all of this will make sense to you as the lesson goes forward. Okay? All of this will make sense to you as we go on and as you pay attention. And then when you come in the middle of the lesson and you hear me talking all this stuff, you'll be like, what is this? What is he talking about? He don't even know what he's talking about. But you'd have missed everything that I try to introduce you to in the beginning of the lesson. So you might, even you who came in late, you might have to go back after the lesson is over, rewind the tape, and play it again so you'll get a full understanding of what's being brought forward. This is what happens when you're late to class. Prince is a taskmaster. And when he say we're going to start at 12, we start at 12. And if we can't start at 12, believe me, something done happened while he ain't starting at 12. And if you come at 12:01, most of the time, 99% of the time, if you come at 12:01, you done missed some things, man. For real. Things that's going to take and elevate you and excite you to life. Things that's going to help you to motivate and grow. Believe me, 12:05, oh man, you done missed out on a whole bunch. Watch the first 5 minutes of this lesson and you'll see what I'm talking about. So anyway, let's get on. When you got that interlocking triangle versus that overlapping triangle, you got much more power. See that? And that's how we supposed to be as a people. But what does the triangle represent? What does the Magen Dawid represents? Now, before I even get it all out, You see my Magen Dawid. Let me show you this. Let me show you this one more time. I know I said that was the last time, but I'm going to show you just one more time because it's something I want you to see. This Magen Dawid is a man who wears a Magen Dawid who knows what he has on. See that circle around that Magen Dawid? That means that that individual has elevated to a certain level. If you see an individual with a Magen Dawid on that has a circle around it, if you ask them to explain to you what that means and they don't know, then they need to get a Magen Dawid with no circle around it. They need to go get a regular Magen Dawid because they can't travel that 360 degrees worth of knowledge. They can't do it. 360 degrees is a complete circle. Okay? It's a complete circle. It's a circle of revolution. But now, a triangle is what? 180? How much is a triangle? I think it's a triangle. I think it's 180. But you got two triangles. So you actually got what? 360? 180 and 180 is what? 360 degrees? And then you encapsulate that with a circle. Now you got what? You got 720 degrees pure perfection. Understand where I'm trying to take you to, fam. 720 degrees of pure perfection of knowledge. A couple weeks ago, I taught you a lesson, and I taught you about Ein Suf. Ein Suf Ein. I taught you a couple weeks ago about that. I don't know if you looked it up or not, but maybe you should. Maybe you want to look that up too. Ein Suf Ein. AINSUFAIN. Look it up. Anything I give you, go research it and look it up and prove me wrong. Not that you're trying to prove me wrong, just that you're gathering information to build up your arsenal so you'll learn how to better motivate yourself toward righteousness and the truth of the Most High. When I told you about Ein Suf Ein, I explained to you that that is the highest place that you can travel in the physical form, in the realm of knowledge and understanding. That's the highest level that you can travel. The only place higher than that is a place called Keter. They spell it with the bastard tongue, K-E-T-H-U-R. Keter. That's how they spell it. It's spelled Keter. And Keter is the realm of existence where the Most High exists. What do I mean? What do I mean? Even the angels, as holy and as magnificent as they are, do not dwell in the presence of the Most High in a manner in which you will be able to understand it. Even the heavenly hosts do not see the Most High in his glory as you would like to think that they do. They don't. First of all, energy don't exist like we think we exist in this life force. Let me give you an example of how energy exists. You ever heard a man teach or talk or sing, even sing? You ever heard somebody sing? Well, that's energy being transferred from one individual to multiple entities at one time. That's energy. That energy was formulated from his chi, from his essence. It came out of him or her. It came out of him or her, and it went in a vibrational level, and it traveled the vibrational realm, and it touched what you have, the physical vibration essence of your loins, and it stimulated you, it possessed you, it hovered within you to a degree, and you understood it. But how did your body respond to the vibrational pull that it received? It either responds positively or it responds negatively. If I sing, la, 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 you're going to say, Prince, be quiet. But if a woman or a man that has that beautiful tone, that vibrational pitch, begins to open up their essence and let out their energy, they will soothe you. And it will feel good to you. And you will be overwhelmed and you will feel it. Well, what is that? It's a form of energy at work. We don't understand it because we're so wrapped up into this physical, this carnal, this fleshly, everything that I can see, touch, taste, or smell is real to me. But you can't see, touch, taste, or smell that voice, that energy that emanates from them. You can't grasp it. You can't lock it up. You can't hold it. You can try to imitate it and even when imitating it, you have to catch the vibration of it to imitate it and to place it wherever you're going to place it. That's what recording devices do. They catch the vibration of it. Energy emulates off of vibrations. You understand? So the heavenly order, as you would like to think when the angels, they stand in the presence of the Most High, singing praises to the Creator. And Isaiah said that I beheld the glory of the Most High, or the presence of the Most High, and the angels was around sing. He's given a silhouette. He's given an image. He's given a hyperbole, I guess it is, a way of explaining what it is that he himself sees or understands. Okay? They said it don't carry no particular meaning. It is a negative phrase. Whoa, somebody don't want you to know. Let me read what that says. Okay, that's a good one. Let's see what it says. The term Ein Sof Ein itself does not carry any particular meaning. It is a negative phrase that could be replaced by any other negative one. Okay, somebody don't want you to know. No being or eternal could be used in the stead. No being or eternal could be used in the stead, as well as any other designated of divinity infinity, divine or of divine infinity. Unlike the appellant of the Sephirith, the Ein Sof is not represented by any anthropomorphic or ethical phrase. In the Zohar, we talking about some stuff now. In the Zohar, he gave my shape to the world before he produced. Now, the Zohar is one of the books. Zohar is one of the levels of reaching a certain spiritual level in the planes. The Zohar is an expression of that they put down in physical form. All right? Before he gave any shape to the world, before he produced any form, he was alone, without form, and without remembrance to anything else, who then can comprehend how he was before the Creator, before the creation. Hence, it is forbidden to lend him any form or similitude, or even to call him by his sacred name, okay? Or indicate him by a single letter or a single point. But after he created the form of the heavenly man, he used him as a chariot wherein to descend, and he wished to be called after his name, after his form, which is the sacred name, Yod-Heh-Wah-Heh. Okay. All right, what we got here? Theosophically, Ein Sof, the endless sea. I hope they're saying the endless sea of light, because that's what Ein Sof Ein means. Or boundless, and with nature, the non-existence, which is but is not, is being. Okay, they trying to get dramatical with you, but that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I know that. You're right, sis. But we're going to have some fun today, because I'm going to try to share it with you. Kayela, watch this. Ein Sof Ein is the highest level of existence that any human, anybody in this physical realm can travel to. Okay? The only thing above Ein Sof Ein, as I just said, is what they call Kethur. K-E-T-H-U-R, or E-R. That's where the Most High exists. And as I stated before, the heavenly angels, who we know as being in the Malkut, the heavenly angels, as we know as being in the, what's that word that they have for, in Genesis, the 6th chapter, where the heavenly angels realm is. They have a word in Genesis 6th chapter, which is called the heavens. I'll be hating when I get brain freeze, but it's just so much knowledge up in here. Wow! It'd be so much to share. In Genesis, the 6th chapter, there's a place. What is this place called? Come on, Prince. Come on. All right, I'm going to go get it, y'all. I'm going to get it. That way I won't have this problem. And I won't have to be trying to figure it out. I remember exactly what it is. Let me go. Genesis, the 6th chapter. Genesis, the 6th chapter. The place where the heavenly... Genesis, the 1st chapter. I'm sorry. Genesis, the 1st chapter, the 6th verse. It speaks about the heavenly abode where the angels reside. I got it now. Thank you, Creator. Thank you for sharing that with me. See, there you go. In Genesis, the 6th chapter, in the 6th verse, it speaks about a place called Rakia. And Rakia is a mystical place where they say, where the heavens, it is called the heavens. It's an expansion in the heavens. And within that expansion is where they say, or they teach, that the angels abide. Genesis, the 1st chapter, the 6th verse, Rakia. And if this lesson is boring to you, you should probably just turn it off and go to somebody else's room, because Prince don't know what he's talking about. You should probably go somewhere else, somebody else's room, because all that means is that you're not ready for this. That's all. If you find this lesson interesting, you're going to get a whole lot more by the end of it. But if you find this lesson interesting, it's because the Most High is inclining your spirit to higher elevation. I'm not just talking about this book stuff that people talk about. The stuff that I'm giving you right now is found in the reading of the book. It ain't going to be spelled out in one way. You go, the Rakia is the place where the heaven... No! You're going to see it in scripture, in reference, in so many different places. But you got to take your time to do the work to see it. But as you learn these things, as we travel together, you'll be able to say, well, damn, that must be what Prince is talking about. When you see something like, and the sons of man saw the daughters of, and the sons of Elohim saw the daughters of men, that they were fair and beautiful, and they took them to be their wives. You will understand those type of things so much better if you understand. But when you don't have that understanding, all you see is you try to interject, oh, that's some angels who saw some humans or some flesh and they came and had sex. No, we going to do this thing, y'all. We going to do it. I'm going to take you to those places if you really, really want to go. See, these are the things that I love to do. This is what makes me real with this walk. This is what keeps me grounded and connected to so many different elements of the Most High's creation. Because I understand what many do not know not. Do not know not. I like that term. That's do not know not. That's good. Go ahead, Prince. He's making up stuff. He go along. He's making up terminology. We're going to write that in the book and clone it. Another Kephirim original. Do not know not. Oh, yeah. Let's go somewhere so you won't be of the do not know not. So you will be in the midst of those who do know and understand. So let's keep reading. I'm going to read to you about what they say the Star of David is. Okay? This is what they teach us the Star of David is. Our help and our shield. Shockingly, to use the six-pointed star as a Jewish symbol goes back only a few hundred years. Now, let me tell you this. Before I even go in, I got to explain this to you. Do not know not. Before I go into this, I got to explain this to you. The Most High says in the scriptures, the secret things belong to the Most High, but those which are revealed belong to you and your seed forever. And so today, we're revealing some of those things that belongs to us and our seed forever. So if it belongs to us and our seed forever, why do we think that the European is even going to be able to come close to the essence of what the Father's trying to tell us? They might can keep a little history of what we're doing, but even in the midst of them writing this word, that word, and that word, there's a deeper understanding that eliminates from within your essence. It illuminates from within your loins, from within your beings, and you know it's there. And so you try it and you test it, and it verifies itself. That's the thing about truth. Truth is self-evident. It will let you know that it's real. It'll let you know. The European man ain't going to give you but so much what he found written somewhere, or something that he done made up, or something that he done stole from some people of knowledge, because everywhere they go, they plot, they plunder, they steal, they rob, they rape. Everywhere they go throughout the earth. So they'll go into Egypt, take a little bit, kill a whole lot, and steal everything in the place, and then come and regurgitate it as if it's their own. They took 72 of our elders, 72 Hebrew elders, and held them at knife spear and made them translate the sacred writings. And then they came up with their book, the Pentateuch. And they circulated it as if it was them, as if they did something. And when they circulated in a way to make us believe in all these fairy tales that has nothing to do with the Most High. You understand what I'm saying? So let's talk about the European man, or whoever it was, them people, it wasn't us. Shockingly, the use of the six-pointed star as the Jewish symbol goes back only a few hundred years. And I'm telling you, it goes back to the beginning of the universe. Not just the earth, but the universe. And the earth wasn't the first planet that was placed into existence. Understanding what I'm saying to you. The symbol of the Magen Dawid, what it represents, what it is, it goes back to the creation of the universe. Not just, as they're saying, it goes back a few hundred years. I took it way back. And I verify that by you just looking up in the east. Look to the east. Look to the east when the sun rises. Hear me? Look, you'll see it. To complicate matters further, in Hebrew, the Star of David is not called the Star of David, but it's called the Magen Dawid, the Shield of David. Why is it an important difference? The Hebrew word for shield is magen. Literally means a protective covering. What did I say that was? That was called a Magen Dawid. What did I say that was here to do? I ain't tell you yet, did I? Ha! But I did tell you if you got the ears to hear. You see what I'm saying? If your spirit is really tuned in and you're really paying attention, then you know what that's for. I done already told you. But I'm going to drop some jewels and I'm going to break it down for you in a way that I know that you need to understand this. Okay? What do you say? Protective covering. Did I move too fast? Okay. In Genesis 15, Elohim makes a covenant with Abram, saying, "Do not be afraid, Abram. I am your shield," or your magen. In Psalms, we find another usage of the word in reference to Elohim made by King Dawid himself, repeating over and over that Elohim alone is our help and our shield. Let me ask you another question. Let's say you got sick. And you got the shakes, your body real shaky, and you all shook up. And you get fever. You start breaking out in a sweat, a real hard sweat. And you pick up that phone and you call somebody. And you describe to them what your situation is and what you're going through. And they say to you, "Okay, brother, or okay, sister, this is what I want you to do. Go get a piece of clover. Garlic clover. Cut it in half. Make sure you get the organic. Cut it in half. Put both halves on your tongue. It's going to burn for a little while, but I want you to soak it in your tongue. After you start the burning sensation go away, I want you to chew it on your back 2 teeth. And then take the little residue that you chew up and rub it all around in your mouth with your tongue. Let it go all around in your mouth with your tongue. And after you do that, what I want you to do is take a glass of water and drink it, swish it around, and swallow it. Now, if the person told you to do that, and you did it, and then after you did it, 5 minutes later, you'd be like, "Woo, man, that worked. Yo, babe, Ime, come here, let me tell you something. Yo, I was almost dying. And Prince called me up and told me to do this and do that, and it worked. Look, I'm better." Well, what did he tell you to do? He told me to take a piece of garlic and utilize it a certain manner, and then, bang, it healed me. It made me better. I think you know where I'm trying to go. If that person took that same piece of clove of garlic and somebody came into their house that they didn't like one of their little children's friend, their daughter had a friend, his name was John, that he allowed to come over, but he didn't like John. I don't really like John. Why you don't like John? Because John ain't got no money, and I really don't want John dating my daughter. I know I said it was okay for John to date my daughter, but I don't want him dating my daughter no more. So when John get alone, the man go in the kitchen, get a piece of garlic, and grab John in the head and stuff the garlic down John's throat with his finger and hold John's whole mouth shut until John dies. That piece of garlic was used in both realms. It was either the apex or was it a nada, one or the other. It was good for enlightenment or healing, or it was good for the carnal or for death and destruction. What am I talking about? This is what I'm talking about. And I know you think you already understand, but I'm going to get to you a little bit different. Even if you understand, just stay with me, okay? What am I talking about? You already had the lesson about the man being who the man is, and he's going to utilize what he has for either good or bad, depending on his nature, depending on what's in him. You already got that lesson. You already got that. But what about the piece of garlic? Do you think that that garlic was put here to bring about destruction? Or do you think that garlic was put here to bring about life? Do you even consider the piece of garlic? Not the evil individual that utilized it, but the piece of garlic's what was its intended purpose when the Creator created it? What was it for? You see, you got to dig deep in these subjects, because if you don't, you miss the whole lesson. The Magen Dawid was created in the universe as a protection device, as a protection mechanism. There is things that illuminate from the formation. You ever studied sacred geometry? Did anybody ever study sacred geometry? Did anybody ever study sacred geometry? If you didn't, somebody go look that up. Look up sacred geometry and just post it in the room, please. Sacred geometry. It's all about mysticism. It's all about forms and shapes and symbols and how this fits that and how this go into there perfectly. Sacred geometry is a wonderful thing. It's something that we can all begin to understand, to study, to learn. Sacred geometry is awesome. Just look it up. But you got to be elevated. You got to be inclined to be able to get there. You can't just grab a book and think that you understand what they're saying with those formulas and all those shapes and forms and codes. It ain't that simple. Sacred geometry is a science. It's something that has to be learned. It has to be taught to you. So is the Magen Dawid. To understand what the Magen Dawid represents, it will only confuse you. Let me show you something else. All right. I know I said I was only going to do this 3 or 4 times, but this is like the 4th time. So now, this is the Magen Dawid. I want you to notice the way that it is. It has a point up top, a point here, a point there, a point there, a point there, and a point there. Let me get a pen, because I want to, hey, I got something. I want to show you something that a lot of us don't pay attention to, that if you don't study these things, it will never make any difference to you, and it will never mean anything, okay? Here's the Magen Dawid. Do you see this empty space right here? You see that empty space right there? You see that empty space, this empty space, and that empty space, this empty space, and that empty space? All that represents something. Now, you see the Magen Dawid this way, right? Now turn it that way, and every one of those empty spaces that you saw are filled. You don't think so? Okay. This way is a symbol that you see it. Okay? Now turn it on its axis. And then the other way which is still interlocking, all of that means something. And all of it has a symbolism that very few understand. I'm going to break it down to you in this simple fashion. There you go, sis. You're right. All right, I'll read that in a minute. I'm going to break it down to you in a simple fashion. The Magen Dawid, or what you may know as the Star of David, represents man in his duality nature, both masculine and feminine, both spiritual and earthly. It is considered to be, the Magen Dawid is considered to be by many the tree of life. It has these different, they call them 7, sephiroths. And the sephiroths are existence. Now we're talking about those people who study what you might call Kabbalah. Those people who study these things are familiar with what it is that I'm talking about because they deal with the ancient order of things. Those who don't, who are only familiar with it, may be like, oh yeah, I heard that word, but they really don't understand which each sephirah actually represents. It's too much for me to be breaking it down into this class today for you. So I'm going to just give you the generic run on things. The Magen Dawid is a symbol of a man standing like this. Now you see it? Is it starting to make sense to you now? This is the Magen Dawid. The top point, the apex, the niba is in the bottom. The 2 points at the side, the 2 points out this way. Now what does that represent? The man's follicle represents the bottom point. Don't forget it. The man's follicle represents that. This is man. The man is the tree of life. The man is the all existence. Remember what I told you about the Ein Suf Ein? When a man lives off of this level of life, this is as high as he can go. Because he's down in the bottom. Your soul, he's down in the bottom of life. The bottom of existence. And this is how most people live their lives. But spiritual people, when you incline to spirituality, you're climbing up, Bina. You're climbing up to different portions of the Yasod till you get to the Ein Suf. The only way that you can get there, these different houses that you are in are different elements of, I like to call them, I'm not even going to use that term. They're different elements of elevation. Different levels. Each one has a different level of elevation where you can go, where you are leaving behind the physical realm, that penis, that follicle area that's pointing downward to the earth. You're elevating from that follicle level to a higher level of existence until you are one in your Ein Suf Ein. Okay? Turabaki. This Ein Suf Ein, light, sea of light, is a place of unlimited knowledge, expansion, understanding, experience, but more importantly, energy. Energy down on this physical level is one form. That's the form that most of us are accustomed to living in. What's physical, what's tangible? Well, let me ask you this. Is emotions tangible? Is love tangible? Is hate or anger tangible? Let's say you think on a thought and you get this wonderful thought. If you don't put it in emotion, that energy of that thought just dissipates throughout you. It's lost, it's gone. But if you don't utilize it, you have no way to manifest it in the physical realm. What transfers from here goes down through all those different sephirahs until it gets down to here. And it usually, when it gets down to here, it's going to stay down there if that's how you living. And most men today, we chase the thoughts or we chase the desires of sex. Most women today, we chase the thoughts, we chase the desires of sex. The apex of a woman is right here. On the right-hand side. She is that other symbol that I told you about that goes this way and that way, but yet that way, and it fits those slots that are vacant by man. It fits those slots. Now she is intermingled as well. So is he intermingled. Now when you put them both together, you have a complete form. You encapsulate that with the 360 degrees of power. That means that there is nothing. What did they say about man? In Genesis, the 11th chapter, it said, man is beginning to, he saw that the works of man was doing all these things and that he was like one of us. Let us go down and distill their knowledge so that they can't, what did it say? Let us go down and confuse their tongue so that they, this is why people, humans today, have so much relationship problems. Because we haven't learned how to bring those two together. Those symbols together. The trees of life together. We got a part of it right, and that's the sexual part. But we are still stuck in the physical realm. We are still stuck in the fleshly realm. We can't seem to get past Bina. We can't seem to get past Yesod. We can't seem to get past those places to know, to wisdom, knowledge, understanding. We can't seem to get past those places. But you know why we can't do it? Because we all assume that we know. We have the answers. We all think we have the knowledge already. Where do we get most of the ways and how we do what we do? Where do we get it from? We got it from our oppressors. Most of our ancient relics, most of our ancient knowledge, most of it has all been destroyed. But it still exists. The problem is you don't know how to tap into you and bring it out to the forefront to cause yourself to be in perfect harmony with whomever it is that you have in your relations in your life. Relationships are so deep. People have no idea how deep the harmony, the balance, the relationship, how deep it really is. What I showed you earlier was an intermingled triangle, interlocked triangle. The top and the bottom, they're interlocked. Although they're in separate different directions, they're interlocked. And that interlocking shows harmony. It shows that when that interlocking actually takes place in the spiritual realm, it's unbreakable, unstoppable. And this is how deep you have to go. This is how deep our forefathers went when they built the pyramids, when they built those great empires, when they wrote those great lessons, when they built those whole cities up, when we conquered the world and when we did all these great things. It's because we had that one unity. Everybody knew their place. And in the household, in the relationship, the man and the woman both understood the principles to make life work. We didn't have no homosexuality jumping off in our nation. There was none. Homo, what is it? Man, we learned that from the oppressors. We learned that from what they did and how they did things. But in the ancient world, it didn't exist because we understood who we were. I'm talking about us. You'll find a lot of homosexual things taking place in Egypt. Whole lot of homosexual things. And a lot of times when our people went down in there, they learned a whole lot of things. But us as a people, we didn't get down like that. We worked together in harmony when the Most High was pleased with us. But when we acted like, and I want to say niggas, oh, all hell, chaos and turmoil and everything broke loose. But when that happened, what did the Most High do? The Most High said, Moses, go out, get that rod and shine it on the people. And the rod start killing niggas. People start dropping. It's the power of symbolism. What was it about this rod that would heal people or kill people? What was it? What was it about the Ark of the Covenant that could cause a man to lose his life if he touched it? What is it about the Magen Dawid, that symbol that the Most High chose to put that in the earth? So when you wake, and put it in the heavens, so that when you wake up, you go out, you look toward the east, after being knocked upside your head, you can see these types of things. That's the problem, fam. We were, and I'm up here. I'm not on this. I'm up here. The light, the brightness. We were knocked upside our heads. And most of all, what that means, that is a Masonic term. The Masons made that famous because they exposed that portion of what should not have been known. They exposed that portion of being knocked upside the head. Knocked upside the head really means that we lost our knowledge. It was taken from us. It was stolen from us. When you get somebody to actually knock you, that's an act of anger or even an act of aggression towards you. So we were aggressively made stupid. We were aggressively made stupid. And yes, many of us are still knocked out. One of the ways for us to get back to who we are supposed to be, one of the ways is to look inside of ourselves. You know that thing that they tell you that, what they call that thing? I got to get back to that portion too. What is that thing that they call you? Intuition. My intuition tells me, or my intuition told me, well, I'm here to tell you, to share with you, sometimes your intuition is formulated by the teachings of man. When your intuitions become pure, when they become pure, your intuitions will never lead you wrong. You know, when the Most High says that he would he would give us a new covenant, and that new covenant will not be written, no man would have to teach another man anything else again. That's what the Most High is talking about, your intuition. You will instinctively know to do right, to do righteously, to do righteousness. And we can get back to there again. We can dwell back into that existence level, but we have to first free ourselves from all the clutter of being knocked upside our head from this oppressor. Do you know in ancient days when our forefathers used to fight battles, they wasn't about killing each other. I'm not talking about what you read in the scriptures. I'm talking about in the ancient days. They would win battles just by over-conquering the other. And if they had to let anybody die, they would send one person out to represent this nation, one person out to go represent that nation. And if that person lost, he lost his life. One man died, not the whole nation. It was different. In today's war, they get 10 million men here, or 5,000 men over here, 5,000 men over here. They go to war and they're killing each other, and everybody dying and crumbling, everybody being destroyed. Some come back with no leg, no head, no arm, no necks. They all beat up. It's a different process of doing things. And that's right, sis. We have to reset our minds. We have to allow the Most High to lead us, to teach us, and to guide us. A lot of people don't understand what that means. Well, if that symbol, the Magen Dawid, was supposed to be a protection mechanism, then maybe that might be a doorway back to where we need to be. If the white man invented the Magen Dawid, why is that symbol found in the pyramids? And the pyramids was made thousands of years ago. Do you hear what I'm saying? If the European man, they say is only 100-something years old. So what I'm saying to you is the pyramids, as we know, are thousands of years old. Thousands of years old. If the Magen Dawid was only a couple hundred years old, or if the white man invented it, or if the white man utilized it, why is it found in the pyramids? Thousands of years old, on the walls, engraved on the walls. See, these symbols all mean something. They understood what a lot of us don't understand. And a lot of reasons why we don't understand is because we've been what? What did I tell you? We've been what? We've been knocked upside our heads. And today we're still knocked upside our heads for many of us. This is why a lot of us, and I mean no disrespect. I mean no disrespect, but I have to make it known what it is. This is why a lot of us can't see the proper way to worship the Creator. Because we were knocked upside our heads, and the oppressor who knocked upside our heads introduced us to a deity, and we walk with it. We accept it, we teach it to others, and we keep them knocked upside their head. You're going to hear a lot of things. A lot of people are going to tell you a whole lot of things. And they're going to tell you this is that. I'm sharing with you from a Hebrew perspective the history of that thing, that symbol. I'm breaking it down to you in a way that I might have to deal with some other people about it later. But that's okay. It's all right. I'm going to give you what I can so that nobody is confused, or I don't leave anybody, or I don't give you too much that you're really not ready for. And as your spirit inclines and as your spirit grows, you'll be ready to go to different levels and heights and understandings. I just don't know if I'm going to be the one to give it to you. But you'll be ready for those things. There is nothing evil about what the Most High has placed in creation to benefit and to give you life. Nothing. It's what you make out of it. It's what you do with it. Go back and watch the lesson from the beginning if you missed that part. And then maybe it'll be a little bit clearer for you. Thus, the Star of David is actually a symbol of God's, they say God's, a symbol of the Creator's protection. The true power of the Shield of Dawid can only be accurately appreciated in the original Hebrew language. The white man realized that. The original. See how he says the original Hebrew? Not this stuff that they do today, but the original Hebrew. That's the difference. See, they drop you some jewels sometimes to let you know that they don't know what they're talking about. They let you know sometimes, but it's up for you to have discernment to understand these things. There you go. The Star of David is a six-pointed star with a great mystical meaning. Oh, they know it got a great mystical meaning. It is a Jewish symbol, and we sometimes refer to it as a hexagram, Solomon's seal, six-pointed star, double triangle, seal of Solomon, and we could go on and on and on. It is a timeless star full of history. Oh, now they're admitting it's a timeless star, and it's full of history, which give meanings to our past, our present, and our future. And that is absolutely true. On the mystical side of things, that is absolutely true. It carries within it the energy of the numbers of creation and the power of the words of the Bible. But there is no explanation for its origin, except for an Indian source of stories about King Dawid. What did the Star of David symbolize? The Star of David is believed to protect one from the evil eye. It represents rich religious history and is considered as a symbol of pride among the Jews and others alike. Now, watch this portion. I heard I saw where somebody put up that Moloch, it was an evil symbol, that star of Moloch. The Jewish man is admitting that not only did the Hebrews, I'm going to say Hebrews, screw the Jews, unless you're talking about Yahudah cool. Jews, something else. It also admits that the Hebrews and other people utilized this symbol. Other people, not just us, okay? Or as they want to think it's them. You would also find a red Star of David on all the Israelite ambulances. It is believed to bring good health and protection. For anybody that's listening to have ears to hear, I'm going to drop a little jewel on you. The color red is a secret society order. The color red. There are a lot of houses in the secret societies. Now, that's not to say secret societies are bad. Most secret societies that I know move in a way to bring about righteousness, truth, and justice in the earth. It's a totally different order. Just because you hear the word secret don't mean that it's negative. Very positive. And that color red lets you know automatically from the door that you're working on a different level of things. You ever heard of the, what is that, the red rose? Now that might be something that you might consider to be evil. I wouldn't say that it's righteousness, but the fact is that I'm trying to bring out, they're using that color red again. See, red symbolizes something about these people that you got to pay attention to. Red is very important. So they're letting you know that they have the red Star of David on their ambulances in Israel. But the ambulance is supposed to be what? Bring salvation to you and take you and get you healed and rush you to a place where you can get help. I ain't get into that yet, sis. I was getting ready to go there, but you moving too fast. You moving too fast. She said the satanic practices use the Star of David with the circle too. They absolutely do. Now, let me tell you something. I don't want to scare you. I don't want to scare you. But I got to introduce you to something. Okay? If you want to be afraid, then run now. Because once I put it out there, the words are going to enter into your essence and you're going to begin to see things differently. Okay? That's my job. To give you the spirit or the will of the Most High to bring forth understanding. That's right. That's right, sis. Royalty as well. So now, since you want to rush the show, Kayella, I'm going to tell you what I wanted to tell you. But this is how I'm going to start it. If you living in a city and you peep in somebody's house, somebody just moved on the block, you peep in their house, and it's at night, 12 o'clock at night in the dark, and you peeping at a little crack in their door. I know you're saying, what am I going to be peeping somebody? You're just newsy. That's all. You're a newsy person. So you peeping in their door at 12 o'clock at night, you look through the little crack in the wall, and you see all the family members standing around in a circle. And then there's one man standing up in the middle, and he got a pigeon on the table. This little thing looked like some kind of altar or something. He got a pigeon on the table. And he take the pigeon. Now you peeping through the hole. You watching this. You're a full-grown Western state-minded person. Talking about you Hebrew, but you peeping in somebody's peephole 12 o'clock at night to see what they doing. And you see all the family members standing around in a circle, and the one man standing up at this podium like an altar type thing, and he has a pigeon, and he cut the pigeon's neck and let the blood go out into a basin. Shake all the blood out. And then he take a little bit of that blood out of that basin, and he walked to a boy that's standing there with breeches on, standing there, and he take his finger and put his finger in the blood. Now you're watching this through that little peephole. He take his finger and put it in the blood and touch the little boy on his right ear. And then touch the little boy on his right thumb. And then touch the little boy on his right finger, on his right toe. And then put his hands on the boy's head and start, you see you can't hear what he's saying, but you see him start praying over top of the boy. It's the first thing you'll think. Type in the room and tell me what's the first thing you'll think. Now, I ain't talking about what you want to say you think you're going to think. That will scare you. You know why? Because you're not accustomed to your own culture. You don't even know what you do and what your forefathers did in their own history, but yet you profess to be a Hebrew Israelite. Thereby, when you see rituals performed that you're not accustomed to, that the European man didn't teach you, you like, oh man, that's evil. Oh, I can't be no. You're right. That's the priestly blessings. That's exactly what it is. And it's found in the Tanakh. That's the priestly blessings. But if you see it done by somebody you don't even suspect to even know nothing about it, because you don't know, because you were raised up from a bunch of pagans, you'll see that done in it. Oh man, you get on the phone, start calling your mom. Mom, we got demon worshipers next door. Oh mom, oh these people into the devil. Oh, I ain't letting my kids play with them. You start getting scared. That's right, you'll think it's witchcraft. So Kayella, I got to bring your attention to what you said. Do you even know what a witch is? Do you know what a witch is? See, I don't like to give people knowledge because people run over the edge. Sometimes I'll share a form of knowledge with you and you misunderstand it and you start walking away from the Creator. I'm not trying to get you to do that. Remember what I told you about that bottle. Remember what I told you about that piece of garlic. Remember what I told you about the Magen Dawid. It's about your essence. You can serve the Creator. You can either go through the front door or you can go through the back door. The front door is what's being offered to you as a child of the Most High. Come to me through the front door. But everybody can't go through the front door because they're not a family member. They have to go through the back door. Witches use the back door. You understand? But they can't do nothing that the Most High don't allow them to do. This is the part that I'm trying to reference so that it'll resonate in your mind. I know what I'm talking about. Believe me. Don't even worry about what they called you, sis. Let's just rock. Witches use the back door. Do you know what a witch is? A witch, a warlock, a sorcerer. Do you know what those things are? There is a difference between masculine, nikeva, and the man is the zakar. Zakar and nikeva. Masculine and feminine. It's a difference. A witch is a feminine. A warlock is, or sorcerer, is the masculine form. Okay? But a witch is the feminine form. What this is only a person with knowledge. Let's think about the book of Numbers, the 21st chapter, I believe it is. 21st, 22nd, or 23rd somewhere. We talk about a man called Balaam. Balaam was a prophet of the Most High. But when you read the history of Balaam, Balaam was going around killing jokers, knocking them off, cursing people. Balaam was. But yet Balaam got his power from the Almighty. Well, how do you say that, Prince? I'm going to show you. Just read the scripture. You'll see it for yourself. The people, Balak, went out and got Balaam and said, Balaam, here, I want you to curse these people over here. Talking about the children of Israel. The children of Israel go through the front door. Balaam had to go through the back door. Which means he had to get up there and make an altar, sacrifice this thing, and shout out and do all these things to gain access to the Most High. All you need to do is humble yourself and get on your knees and open up your essence, your portals. Open up your essence to this king. And he revealed to you everything that you need. But you have not. You have refused to allow your essence to elevate to that level. It requires strict discipline. And most of us have refused to do it. Gosh. Balaam would curse the people for whoever would give him the most money. Well, when they came to, you know what? But Balak said, yo, Balaam, go curse those people over there. Balaam went over there, saw those people, and tried to curse. And, oh, wait a minute. I can't curse them. What do you mean you can't curse them? What the Most High has blessed, I can't curse. But you know when Balaam couldn't curse us? If you read that story, it was only when we were doing right before the Most High. The Most High has saw us at that time like he's never saw us before. He was so pleased with us at that time like he was never pleased with us before. As a nation, I'm talking about, not just as an individual, but as a nation. We were beholding in the Most High's sight at that time. So Balaam couldn't bring no havoc upon us because the Most High was with us. The Most High was in us. There was nothing that he could do to us at that time. You understand? This is what I'm sharing to you right now, family. If you really desire to move on that level, which you can do, you have to get yourself in perfect harmony with the essences of this lesson, and you will get there. You can get there. It's a process. It requires a lot of transformation. A lot of transformation. The quickest way you can get there is leave alone everything that you think you know. When you came into this lesson today, everything that you thought you knew, that you thought you understood, I'm saying leave it alone. Leave it alone. And go into my YouTube page and go back on my old videos and watch all of them from Temple Kepharim up until Prince Israel with a Y, Prince Israel with an I. Watch them YouTube videos and submit yourself to that type of teaching and discipline and realness with the Creator. And you will feel your essence begin to illuminate. You will feel yourself begin to rise from yourself. You will feel yourself at night when you lay down in your sleep, floating. You'll feel different. I promise you'll feel different. You will come out with a greater understanding. Now, I'm saying if you watch these videos, don't go in there watching these videos thinking that you know something. Go in there and watch the videos in your raw form, like you don't know nothing. And allow yourself to be fed. And you watch what happens to your essence. I promise you. Watch what happened to those people around you that called themselves your enemies at one time. Or even your haters. Watch what happened. It's deep. It's deep. Yeah, you must don't know who I am. But that's okay. You're going to learn one day. It's all right. We're going to take this journey together. That's all right. Let's do it. I know you look at me and you say, oh, he's an all right looking dude. He all right. Yeah, I wouldn't marry him, but he all right. What I'm trying to share with you is that this ain't got nothing to do with who I am. Nothing. Not one thing. And if you can't accept this, then you can't accept nothing that I'm trying to share with you. Because you're too busy looking at this. You're too busy looking at that. Man, you look at some of my videos someday, I got on my work clothes, I'm all dirty and dusty, I got paint all over myself. But that don't bother me from putting up a video showing you who I am and what I do and trying to excite you to do the same thing. Nah. Sometimes you look at my pictures and my videos, I got on my suit, I'm all dugged out, looking all fly, yeah. But that don't tell you who I am. That don't stop me or promote me to do what it is that I have to do. I mean, look at me today. Look how I'm dressed today. Whoo, man, putting it out. You know what I'm saying? But don't allow this physical to cause you to miss out on eternity. See, a lot of people have programmed their minds because of the way that the European oppressors have given us, knocked us upside our head and given us their way of understanding things. We allow this to blind us and we can't see. Our vision is distorted. But if you allow this to open up and you allow these to close and you allow this to work its work, you'll see something totally different. And that's how you should view everybody. For a blind man can receive eternity quicker than a man with eyes, a man with vision, a man who supposedly has vision. The blind man can see a lot better than the man who can see this physical world. Okay. All right, let me keep moving. That's right. Let me get back to where we gotta be. Okay. Kayela, I was jumping on your thing because you asked me a question. I was trying to take us somewhere, and I'm gonna finish up. So when you saw those people doing that thing, you know, with the blood and the pigeon and the touching of the ear and the thumb and the toe, automatically what you thought in your mind was that this is something evil. I got to get away from this. And you run. You badmouth that family. You don't want to be a part of that family. You keep all your kids away from that family. And everybody on the block, you spread a bad word about that. Watch out for them. Them jokers down there, they doing some evil stuff, man. And 10 years later go by, and the Passover happened to come up, and you go see them out in the backyard with an animal doing something. And you know the day is Passover. You say, why they got that lamb over there? Why they got that sheep? So you go make up something and walk your dog past their yard, and you peep over there, and you see them reading out of the Tanakh. Oh, man, I done blasphemy my people. I done talked evil and gave an evil report on those who were worshiping the Creator. Let's get back to the witch. Sister, you posted in the room, Kayela, you posted in the room that witches also have a Magen Dawid with a star around it. Who did I tell you were the people who did that and understood that? It's people with knowledge, people with understanding of a certain thing, people who know how to move energies in a certain direction and cause things to take place. And I say energies. They move in energies in a certain direction to make things happen. And what does that mean, Prince? That means that King Solomon was known for having control over the spirit realm. King Solomon was just one of them. Prophet Elijah was known for having control over the elements of the earth and the spiritual realm. All of the prophets of the Most High had this special talent or this special ability to master or control the heavens or spiritual things in existence. No other prophet on record throughout history had those abilities. All right, sis. Now you're starting to teach. But okay. I'll leave that alone. I haven't gotten there yet. The problem with the Satanic Bible, just so because you brought it up, is that they worship Satan. The back door. We don't go through the back door. We leave Satan out of this question. We don't worship the negative energy. So anybody reading out of the Satanic Bible, anybody worshiping Satan, matter of fact, anybody worshiping anybody other than the Most High, creator of all creation, the power of Abraham, Yitzchak, and Yisrael, anybody worshiping anything other than him is practicing idolatry. Practicing idolatry. So let me get back to where we need to be. The reason why you can go into those places that practice black magic and you'll see a Star of Dawid with a circle around it is because they have some knowledge of things. They do. The thing I will say about them is that a lot of their people are closer to their origin than we are to our origin. What I mean by that? I mean, we have gotten so far away from our true culture that things that we read about today truthfully look foreign to us. But yet those people who practice those black magics, those arts, and whatever they call it, they're true to their essence, to their culture, to their nature. Not all of them, but a lot of them are true to it. So they stick closer to the principles that govern them than we do our principles. Check it out. You talk to a lot of witches. I don't know if you do. I've spoken to several. You talk to a lot of those people, they're vegetarians. At the minimum, they're vegetarians. The Creator created mankind on the earth to be what? Vegan. To eat the fruit and the vegetables from the tree. You understand what I'm saying to you? They stick to a lot of those pure principles of life. They have a love for nature. They're good. They'll walk around barefooted in the dirt forever. These are all the type of things that I try to teach you, but on a righteous level. Where you have the ability and the authority to command of the Most High and go through the front door where they got to beg and go through the back door and worship idols. But they still know a lot of things. But let me drop this jewel on you because I don't know if you know. I know, so I'm going to share it with you. You can research in your history books or anywhere else you want to go, and you can look it up to see what I'm talking about. The Most High tells us not to drink blood. So that's something that we don't do. They can do whatever they want to do because they're not us. Understand? Here's the thing. But even in the Most High telling you not to drink blood, he tells you not why not to, because he says that in the blood there's life. Life is contained in the blood. So they're trying to, it's a whole cycle with them. Let's get them out the way. I'm trying to share something with you. When the necromancer or the evil person or the wicked person or the witch or the warlock or the sorcerer, just because they're a witch, a warlock, or a sorcerer don't mean they worship Satan either. That's another thing that a lot of people don't understand. But anyway, a witch is only a person with knowledge. Knowledge outside of the normal knowledge of man. And that's why I say just because they're a witch or a warlock or something don't mean that they're worshiping Satan. It just means a person with knowledge. So let me drop this jewel on you. We're talking about those people who do cast spells and do evil to people. Why do you think it works? They do this and it works. Why do you think it works? You got access greater than theirs, but yours don't work because you're not utilizing the right resources. You're not going about it in the procedures that they're willing to make those sacrifices to make their work. You're not willing to make those sacrifices. So you are wondering why, oh man, the Creator might not be real. Let me go over here to Satan. Satan might be real. And that's garbage. But you're not willing to make the sacrifices like I teach all of you all the time. Before you bow down and pray to the Creator, ask the Most High for permission to approach him. You don't just walk up and say, well, I'm going to make prayer. Oh, God, Hear my prayers and my pleas, because I come to you, your servant. Man, you can get cut down for that. Read the scriptures. How many people died because they approached the Creator any way that they want to? They're willing to make the sacrifices to get theirs heard, but what are you willing to do? Oh, Prince teach that. I ain't doing that, man. Let me tell you something. Prince going to show you some things, man. And Prince is going to show you how to get back where you need to be in the righteous divine order of the Almighty. Let me tell you, before you make prayer to the Creator, whenever, always, except in the case of an extreme emergency where you don't have the opportunity to, like you see a car coming at you 10 miles an hour, 20 miles an hour, you ready to hit the smash, you pray and you turn and you do what you got to do, but you might not have the opportunity to ask for permission to approach. It just comes out. That's a one thing. That's a different thing. But whenever you get to bow down to prostrate yourself to this King before prayer, you should wash your feet, wash your hands. If you can't do that, the very minimum that you must do is ask the Most High for permission to approach him prior to making prayer. Don't just take it upon yourself to approach the Creator. Many people took it upon themselves. Read the scriptures. Many people took it upon themselves to do things in lieu of what they thought the Most High would expect them to do or would like for them to do. And they lost their lives. He took them out. And you read the book and you say, well, wait a minute. Wasn't he just doing a good thing? He just held the Ark of the Covenant up. Shouldn't they have been allowed to live for doing so? The Most High said, that's not the way you're supposed to do this. You don't touch that. If it's falling, let it fall. But we take it upon ourselves because we think we understand what's good and right. Not even thinking about we've been knocked upside the head so long ago, we don't even know what's good and right. We don't know what righteousness is today. We think righteousness is being good to somebody and just sharing your food every once in a while with somebody. And that's where righteousness is. That's where it stops. All that means is that you're being merciful to somebody. Righteousness means that you're obeying the laws, statutes, and the commandments of the Most High, and that's it. That's what you do. Those other things are just acts of righteousness or acts of kindness, acts of mercy, acts of love that you gotta have within your essence to serve this King, because he's all about love. Why do you think you're still here? It's because of love that you're still here, breathing at this particular time. Just so that you can get that opportunity to get it right, to better yourself, so that you can get up and help somebody else to better themselves. It's an intermingled cycle. It's an interlocking of unity. It's what it is. And you have to understand, until you get to that place, until you get to that realm, you don't mean nothing on this circle, because you ain't got it. If you got a house, and you got, let's say, 3 bedrooms in your house, 3 bedrooms in your house, and you live alone, and you get a call from an Israelite that you really don't even know. Yo, bro, I don't know how it happens, but you get a call. I got 2 children, my wife and I, we got put out. I'm doing my very best to serve the Creator. I don't know what's going on in my life. Maybe the Most High is testing me, because the Most High does these things to test us. Prince, I'm telling you, I don't know what's going on. I make my prayer 3 times a day, 5 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, before I go to bed. I eat the best of foods, Prince. I do my very best to eat the best I can possibly, as clean as possible. When my wife is on her cycle, I don't lay with her. I don't even touch her when she's on her cycle. She don't cook my food. It's like a vacation for her. Prince, I don't know what to do. When the Shabbat come around Friday night till Saturday night, I don't do nothing but worship the Creator, read, study, and everything. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time in life getting my affairs in order. My hand be to the Creator, family. Sometimes the Most High will put that man in position like he's in just so he can test you. And you could be talking, well, I do all these things. I got a nice job. I got a couple dollars in the bank. I'm rocking and rolling. I'm doing everything I got to do. Bro, you just got to pick the game up. That's all you got to do. Hey, I give you a couple dollars, but I can't let you come in my house. I'm not going to bring you in my, well, what? But you call yourself righteous, bro. Understand. Remember that interlocking that I told you about like earlier? Remember that interlocking? There is an overlapping and then there is an interlocking. There's a difference. You're supposed to be righteous. If it is that you're supposed to be righteous, why would you not help your brother who you know or you believe and you understand is worshiping the power as you do, but in a bad position right now in his life? He's not a drug dealer. He's not a drug user. He don't smoke crack. He don't smoke cigarettes. You know, he's not hanging out, partying all times of the night. He's not doing that crazy stuff, but he's having a hard time in life. But yet he worships the Creator. The secret to this is he is as you are. And that's how you're supposed to accept him. None of us is perfect. None of us. But you know what happens? I'm going to tell you what happens. I'm going to tell you what happens. That's right. It's physical and it's spiritual. But it's also a form of psychic. I got to break that down to you too. And hopefully, Creator willing, I'll be able to break that down today if I don't forget. A lot of brothers today will have themselves in a position financially and be about this way. Somebody else will go through something totally suffering. The Most High is trying to check you. So that individual, the Most High puts them in your spirit, put you in their spirit so that they will reach out to you for help and assistance. And what's the first thing you say? No, bro, I can't help you out. Or, yo, sis, I ain't having it, sis. I ain't messing with you. You got it in your power to help your brother or your sister that calls upon the Most High. I understand. So many people out here scheming today. So many. So what you do is you check up on them. You ask them. You give them a series of questions. If they get frustrated with answering your questions, then more than likely they're not for you. They're not the one. They're running scams. They're playing games. You see? But if a person that's really destitute, a person that really needs, they're going to take the time to answer those questions. And they're not going to feel like you're digging in their business because you're about to bring this person into your home, into your abode, or under your covering in some form, shape, and a man can be under the covering of another man. So let that sink in a little bit. So you ask questions, but a person that's desperate, we're going to do what we got to do to get what we need. All right? We're going to do what we got to do, so we won't have no problem answering those questions. So let me go back to the witch person. Peace, platinum, black magic. All right, so the people practicing the black magic, they got the circle. Now, what they do is this. That's right, you got it, Ishi. They'll draw the Magen Dawid or the Star of David on the floor. Some of them will light candles in each one of the points. Each one of those points is a different sephirith, a different realm of existence. Each one represents a different harmony, love, unity, respect, honor, trust. Each one represents a different essence of real reality, those things which are wholesome and good and natural. Each one represents a different energy. And then outside of the Magen Dawid, they'll draw a circle all the way around on the ground, like that circle right there. But this is an oval. It's more of a circle, 360 degrees. They'll draw that on the outside of the Magen Dawid. Now, when you see this, automatically you know that this person has some knowledge. Don't cast them off to be evil so quick. The only way you can tell if a person is really evil is from their actions, what they're causing to take place. Okay? Because just because you see a man come in and shoot up a house of 30 people don't mean that man was evil. It could mean that that man was a soldier and he knew, he had knowledge of those people trying to kill off a whole nation of your people. So don't always be quick to say, oh, that brother been in jail. I ain't messing with that brother or that sister, because you have no understanding of why that brother's doing what he's doing. You should always inquire. Okay? So now, when you see that star, you see that circle on the floor, you see those candles lit up, and that person who is doing whatever they're doing at that time will sit in the center. Remember that opening of that Magen Dawid that I showed you? This is the 5th time that I'm going to show it to you. I got to show it to you right, so I got to stand it up. This circle right here in the middle, that's where that person will sit at. Why is it important that that person sits in that circle? See, you got to elevate in your knowledge, and I'm not giving you no junk. I'm giving you pure knowledge. Because I got hit upside the head a long time ago, but my knowledge has been restored in many places. Many places. So what it is that I'm trying to share with you, that person sits in the direct center. I might get a knock on my door in a little while, somebody saying, yo, man, you know you ain't supposed to be talking about this stuff. I don't care. I could fight. I could hold mine. Yeah, I used to knock them out back in the day. Dude knock on my door, we going to be rumbling. And I'm going to win because it's my house. There you go. Who told you that, sis? Did I tell you that? Did that come out my mouth? Antoinette, did I tell you that? You got to let me know. Did I tell you that, Antoinette, just now? Did I say balance? I don't think I said balance, sis. Did I say it? I want to know. Did I tell you balance, Antoinette? No? Yes or no? Wow. Okay. I guess you and me got some talking to do then. She's absolutely right. She's absolutely right. The balance takes place in the center of that Magen Dawid. Sometimes you'll see them where they won't have a Magen Dawid, they just have a circle. But they still must sit in the center. Remember, the circle is 360 degrees. Now, I'm not teaching you anything unrighteous. This is all holiness. You just got to understand whether it's the bottle, what you're going to do with it, whether it's the garlic, what you're going to do with it, whether it's the Magen Dawid, what you're going to do with it. I'm going to give you pure wisdom. You do with it whatever is in your essence. Whatever kind of person you are, that's what you're going to do. You're right, sis, and I'm surprised you knew that, but I really shouldn't have been surprised because I told you a long time ago you had something special going on with your spirit. So I shouldn't even have really been surprised, but may the Most High continue to bless you. I see you can do a little bit of traveling. That's good. That balance, remember, each one of those different spheres that I spoke to you about, although each one of those different planes or each one of those different levels hold a certain energy. To balance that energy, you have to be directly in the center. You can't be too good. You can't be too bad. You can't be too lovable. You can't show too much hate. You follow what I'm saying to you? You have to be balanced right in the center in order for your energy to illuminate. That's the key to life, family. If you're that type of man, think about it for a minute. Let's think about Abraham for a minute. Abraham was the epitome of righteousness. The Most High said, Abraham is accepted in all of his houses. He said, Abraham is my friend. You understand? Abraham laid down, made a sacrifice, I believe it was the 15th chapter of Genesis, where the Most High said, I will be your shield. He offered up an offering to the Creator. He put them all around, the sacrifices, and he laid in the center. He balanced. That's that Magen Dawid. That's that symbol. That's that energy that I'm trying to tell you about right now when I talk about these things. And guess what he did? He set them on fire. It was a burnt offering. Aish. It was a burnt offering that he did to the Almighty. And he laid down and went to sleep. What that mean, he went to sleep? He was meditating so deep in that spiritual realm that he drifted off. And when he drifted off, the angel of the Most High came down to each one of those things and performed the task. Abraham understood. Abraham knew. It's us who don't know. See what I mean by you'll read these things and you really won't even know what's going on? But after this lesson, when you read these things, it'll start revealing itself to you what was really taking place. This is what I'm sharing with you, family. All these principles that I'm teaching you, they're present in the scriptures, but you don't know how to dig them out. You don't know how to see them. But once you reread the scriptures again after lessons like this, it will start to illuminate within you, and you will start to see the symbolism in the things that I'm sharing with you. Then it will start making sense to you. Things will start revealing themselves to you, and you won't be so knocked in the head all the time no more. Your knowledge will be coming back to you, and you will learn how to get back to the Most High. Very well, sis. Very good. Very good. So there's one more thing I want to share with you about being in the center of that circle. If a person is in the center of that circle and they're doing evil, in order for them to do evil, they have to command the spirits to do a certain thing. Okay? And whenever somebody in the physical flesh commands something of the spiritual realm by way of demon or energy, they're just energies. By way of energy, you have to know how to manipulate or control the energy, but yet you also have to know how to protect yourself. The only way that you can protect yourself is by being balanced. I started by telling you about Abraham. Let me tell you about Abraham first, and then I'm going to tell you about what happens when they sit in the center. Abraham was purely balanced as a man. You got to read the story of Abraham. It's deep. Abraham was so balanced, he sacrificed that which he loved dearly for the sake of the nation. How many of you would do that? How many of you would sacrifice what you love for the sake of the people? When Abraham went down into Egypt, what did he tell his wife? He said, baby girl, just say you my sister so he don't kill me. He ain't just mean me. He meant us and let you live and take you. Just say you my sister. That balance was there. Many of us are not willing to make that sacrifice. Abraham, the Most High commanded of Abraham to test Abraham, to see if Abraham had that balance. He said, Abraham, sacrifice your son to me. No matter how hesitant Abraham was, he did what the Most High commanded. He took his son. He laid him up. Can you imagine the passion that was running through Abraham by having that balance? He said, oh, I don't want to do it. He said, Father, what are we here for? I don't want to do it, but I have to. He picks up his knife and he's ready to do what the Most High had commanded of him. But the Most High was just testing him. And the Most High said, Abraham, do not harm the child. Look in the thicket of the bush, and there's a ram for you to offer up for that sacrifice. By your actions, now I know that you will serve me. When was your test in your life? When did you get your test in your life to find out or to check your balance to see if you're ready to receive what the Most High has for you? Abraham was balanced. This same man that was willing to risk everything that he had the thing that he loved the most was the same man that knew how to go to war and take people out. He went to war with 300 men and killed way more men than his 300 men. When he had to kill, he had to kill. I didn't say murder. I said kill. He wasn't afraid to kill. He was a warrior. He was a soldier. He was a great man, a great leader. And all of that, he was a servant of the Most High King. Elijah, another man. What did Elijah do? I'm going to tell you what Elijah did. This is what Elijah did. Elijah went up on the mountain. And the men was coming. Now, he was a righteous man before the Most High. We all know the Most High had a special relationship with Elijah. Elijah go up on the mountain and say, Creator, the king sent out these 50 men to kill me. Creator, get them, please. Destroy them. And you know what? They all died. Send 50 more. Elijah said the same thing. They all died. Until one of them jokers got smart and said to Elijah, Elijah, please, I know your power is the power. I know you are a man of the Most High. Please do not ask the Most High to destroy me. Please come with me. I am a servant. Please come with me and these men to talk to this king. You understand? There you go, sis. There you go. Good acknowledgement. Elijah was also a man who had perfect balance. Perfect balance. Think about this for a second and see if this opens up anything to you. When Elijah, was it Elijah or Elisha? I believe it was Elijah. It was Elijah. That's my man. I believe it was Elijah. He went up on a mountain and he had the, what was it, 400 priests, or was it 200 false priests of the false idols who he challenged to a sacrifice to see who power was the real power. Now I'm going to reveal something to you, fam. Like I said, these things I'm talking to you about, they in the book, but you don't know how to see them. So I'm going to bring them out a little bit so you can see them. I done talked about 2 of them thus far. Maybe I talked about even more than that, but I'm ready to drop another jewel on you. Elijah, when those men, they cut themselves all day. They was cutting themselves, all trying to sacrifice to their power. But Elijah laid down the rules. Elijah said, whatever power answers by fire, then he truly is the power, and him you shall serve. So they went out all day. They did all the things that they could do to have their power to answer. Listen, fam, because I'm getting ready to drop that jewel. They did all they could do. They cut themselves. They did all kind of praying all morning, all night. They did all kind of bleeding. They did the animal sacrifice. They did everything to get their power to answer. But their power did like your power do. He ain't do nothing. He ain't answer. He was on vacation. Elijah, he made fun of him. He said, he on vacation, ain't he? Yeah. He sleep. Maybe he sleep. Your power sleep. What did Elijah do? The man that had perfect balance. What did the scriptures say Elijah did? Elijah went to his altar. I believe this is in I want to say 1 Kings, but no, it should be in 2 Kings 22, 21, somewhere around there, I think. Y'all, one of y'all can find it and post it in the scriptures for me. What? Baptized by water, purged by fire, come from the earth beneath, wind into body for man to live. You talking some stuff, girl. You better stop. Stop, Antoinette. We're going to have to talk later. You got to stop right now, okay? All right, stop. No, just listen. Just pay attention. Probably igniting you. And I'm not going to tell you to stop, sis. You do what you feel like you have to do. If you feel like you have to do it, you go ahead and let it out. But anything ain't for everybody. That's all I'm saying. So if you got some knowledge of some things, and if you got that knowledge, you might want to put your brakes on before you say something you ain't supposed to say. So I'm going to let it out a little bit. Elijah went up, that man of balance. He cut up his sacrifice. Remember what he said. He said the power that answers by fire is the power. That's right, sis. All praise to the Most High. He said the power that answers by fire is indeed the true power. What did he do after he cut up his sacrifice and laid it on the altar? Y'all watching? Y'all reading? Somebody find that scripture for me, please. What Elijah did was he went and put a trench all around the altar and filled it with water. Whoa. Whoa. See, you hear these things and you don't even know what you're reading. You don't even know what you're reading. You hear it, but Prince, oh, so what? He dug a hole and he put water in it. What does that mean? He dug a trench, a circle around the altar, which sat in the center of the circle. Energy all around. And then he did what? He filled it with water. Well, what does water mean? That's something else you got to go look at. Something else, maybe I'll get that to you another day in another lesson. Water is, I'll give you a hint, just a hint. Water is a purifier. A purifier. But I ain't going to tell you too much. Let's leave it at that, okay? We're going to leave it at that for now. Maybe another day, you keep tuning in, you'll get all these things. Maybe this is enough energy to make you go research so you can find what water is and what it represents, what it means. He filled the trench with water all the way around. He filled that circle with water while the altar was in the center. Okay, thank you. 1 Kings chapter 18. Okay, thank you. I was off about one whole book and 2 verses, 2 chapters. I said 2 Kings around 20, 21, 22, somewhere around there. I was off. So please forgive me. You're right, bro. Water is life, but there's so much significant. Water is life, but what life? See, a lot of things you ain't gonna know. You might know. You might know. But it's a lot of things you don't understand. It's a spiritual life. It's a spiritual existence. It's a spiritual thing that's taking place. That's why water has the ability to cleanse. There's a reason why the Most High tells the Moshe and them to bathe before they approach him in prayer. It's a reason why he wants that water to touch them. There's a reason why he flooded the earth with water. Water is a powerful entity that people don't have no understanding why. It's a reason why you need water to constantly to live. There's a reason why. There's so much to it, but we'll talk about that another day. Let me finish up here, please. He made that circle. He resided in that perfect balance. And he brought forth power from the heavens. It says that the power came down from heaven so powerful that it sucked up the sacrifice and it sucked up all that water out of the circle. All that water came up out of there and it consumed it up in the fire. Something that they teach you are the complete opposites. Fire and water. This is deep, man. See, I be trying to share with y'all some things sometimes, but y'all don't be listening. Y'all think Prince don't know what he talking about. Or y'all think Prince just here because he look good. I ain't just here because I look good. No, get it right. I'm here because I'm ugly. And I want you to see that your eyes doesn't show forth my beauty. Get it? All right. All right. So, let's get back to the story of Magen Dawid. May the Most High be praised. All right. Oh, they get ready to break something down for y'all. Almost something that we talked about. The Star of David, Hebrew, Magen Dawid, Shield of David. Magen is also spelled M-O-G-E-N. Jewish symbol composed of two overlaid equilateral triangles that form a six-pointed star. Did you see what they said? The Jewish symbol with two overlaid triangles. That's all it is. It's not interlocked. That one is overlaid. But let's see if they talk about the interlocked one. They may bring it up. It appears on synagogues, Jewish tombstones, and flags in the state of Israel. Do you also know, thank you sis, appreciate that. Do you also know that the Magen Dawid, I got to put the charger on the phone, y'all. Give me 1 second. Do you also know that the Magen Dawid, that symbol is on churches? It's also found on churches. A lot of churches, old structures, you'll find them, they're built. They have the Magen Dawid on the structure. A lot of people don't understand. There's a lot of things that we have no knowledge of. Let me tell you something else about things that we see that's scary to us. And the enemy knows that these things has access to a certain realm, so they make you afraid of those things and cast those things off as being evil. Just like they did with Africa. When you see the continent of Africa, when you watch anything that the European man put out on Africa, it looks ugly, trenched. But when you see what Africa really looks like, it's a beautiful place. Do you remember? Or just like they did with Chinese people. When you see the videos of Chinese people, Japanese people, or Vietnam people, when you see these people in the videos and the movies, they're all light-skinned. But there's a lot of them over there dark as me. Look just like us. Well, they don't look just like us, but their color look just like ours. There's a whole lot of them over there just like that. But that's not what they portray to the world. What I'm sharing with you is that these things that we're talking about today, they portray it to the world, and those who are still knocked upside their head, they accept what they portray to the world. That this is an evil thing. Stay away from it, run from it, hide from it. Don't allow it in your midst. It's evil. And it has nothing to do with the likes. Nothing at all. Let's get back to the reading. Oh, the last thing I wanted to tell you. I just remembered what I was trying to get to. I had to go that way to lead you where I'm going. There's a little thing called gargoyles. Gargoyles. Let me go get one. I can't keep it for so long. I got to put it back because it's holding up my books. You see that? It's a gargoyle. This is what they call gargoyles. Okay? Let me go put it back and then I'm going to teach you about it. Now that gargoyle right there is what I use to hold up my books. But let me explain to you what they do. The gargoyles, they have them on churches. If you look at old relics, old churches, old buildings, old structures, they'll have gargoyle heads. Some of them got the Star of Dawid. Some of them got the satanic symbol. Some of them got all kind of things. But they'll have these things, these forces of power hidden from plain view, where you really can't see it unless you're really, really looking. But it's got to be an old structure. So go look. No, they don't come to life. So anyway, I'm going to tell you what gargoyles are. Now pay attention. So they have these little symbols, these little heads, or these little ugly looking, monkey looking things. All kind of things. And they'll teach you that these things are of the devil. That these things are ugly. I just showed you that these things are not ugly, not negative, not of the devil, but of righteousness. All depends on the essence that you contain. Let me show you. Well, when you open up the book of Ezekiel, Ezekiel describes cherubims. Cherubims are angels. Ezekiel describes them. What they look like. What they look like. Is that an evil beast? Is that a monster? Is that of Satan? No. He said the cherubim was around the Most High. The cherubim was teaching and talking and showing him things, all dealing with the Almighty, force and power and realness. But when you allow the adversary to knock you upside your head and you refuse to allow your mind to come back to you, you look at these things as something evil and negative and you run from them. He said each one has different faces. The face of this, the face of that, the face of this. That's all gargoyles are. They have different faces. They represent different things. Okay. All right. So, I got so much I want to give you on this lesson. It's going to be a nice little long little lesson today. So let me finish on. Jewish tombstones and the flag of the state of Israel. The Jews was historical for the limit by the Jews are ordained in their antiquity when by the size in the five-pointed star it serves as a magic sign or as a decoration. In the Middle Ages, and the Star of David appeared in the great frequency among Jews, but did not assume any specific or religious significance. It is found well on some medieval cathedrals. See, they say it. It's found on some medieval cathedrals. The term Magen Dawid, which is Jewish liturgy, signifies Elohim as the protector, shield of Dawid. gained currency among medieval Jews mystics who attack magical powers to Dawid's shield, King Dawid's shield. Just as earlier, non-Jewish magical traditions have referred to five-pointed stars as the seal of Solomon. They say the Kabbalists talk about this. Popularized the use of the symbol as a protection against evil spirits. That's the point I wanted to make to you. When you see the witch in the center of the circle, right, of the Star of Dawid, the Magen Dawid, and the circle around her, or if it's just a circle, she in the center, the reason why they're in the center is that it protects them from the entities that they're conjuring up. They can command those entities, but those energies, cannot come in to do any harm to them. Because that symbol is being used as a protection mechanism on the floor. Just like that garlic was being used to heal your body when you got sick, to protect you from the virus or the sickness coming into you, the garlic that you ate protected you from that. That symbol is being used for the same purpose. The Most High placed these things in the universe for a reason. But at the same time, you are not to worship anything but the Almighty. So if you're giving glory and honor and you bowing down and you praying to that symbol, then you're practicing idolatry. That symbol has a use in your life. Use it for what its intended purpose is, not for you to bow down yourself and prostrate yourself to it. That's where we go wrong. So many people don't understand what this is all about. This is the mystical side of Prince's teachings today. That's where I'm touching on. The mystical side of teaching. That you're not going to see simply in the scriptures just because you open the book, unless you have a teacher to teach you. Unless you have something or someone to bring you understanding other than the Most High himself. Because a lot of times he opens your mind. And he shares with you these things. But it's so much written in this book that we don't even begin to understand what's there. Because we can't see. All right, you got it. Yedadiah. Whenever you're ready. May the Most High be pleased. All right, family. What we going to do? Because we going on what? 2 hours now? 2.5 hours? We going on 2.5 hours. So as always, I ask you. You want to continue or you want to cease? If we stop now, you guys can ask all your questions. Post your questions in the room. And we can bust it up on the questions for the next half hour, 45 minutes. But if not, then I got a whole lot more to talk about. I can teach a little bit more, or I can just table it to next week. She said, keep it going. She said, keep it going. So what do you guys think, besides Antoinette? Do you guys have any questions you want to ask right now? Donna said, keep it going. Okay. All right. I can't be selfish. You're right. I don't want to be selfish either. But what do you want to do, fam? Let me know, y'all, what y'all want to do, because we got a lot we can talk about. Go on. I would expect y'all to say something like that. I really would. I would expect y'all to say something like that, because I know the kind of spirit y'all possess. Y'all want more? You want more. Okay. Well, do we have any questions thus far? Does anyone want to ask any questions? Does anyone have any questions pertaining to anything that we just mentioned? Anything. I gave you a whole lot of information, fam. I gave y'all a whole ton of information. Ask your question if you have some. I gave you a lot of information for you to go and disseminate and regurgitate. And it'll help you to elevate to get where you need to be mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and guess what? And financially. It can help you financially. Of course America's going to be destroyed. Come on, it's in the process now. Can't you tell? If you do the history, every other nation only lasts for a certain amount of time as ruling on the earth as a source of power. America knows that it's being destroyed. And that's why they're trying to change things up. Why did they call the church medieval back then? Antoinette, do you know the answer to that? Because if you don't, I'm going to share it with you. I'm going to share it with you anyway, whether you know it or not. A lot of people don't know this. But when the church was first organized and first orchestrated, the church also had witches as a part of the church. They practiced black magic and they preached the Bible all both at the same time. And it wasn't until much later in time where they actually separated the two. They began to ban witches and began to kill them off. But that was like around maybe, I guess maybe around, I'm guessing hypothetically because I don't know the exact date, but I'm saying around the 12th century is when they began to kill people for practicing black magic. But at one point in history, the church and black magic was one. Where they would worship. Why you think? Now think about this for a second. When you see a person in church now today catching the Holy Ghost, what that look like? It look like somebody possessed. It look like somebody possessed. That's what they do. They look like somebody possessed. They fall out and all those things. I don't know if the Most High is going to cause Russia or anyone to send bombs and missiles. What I do know is from scriptures, the Father said it will be a wilderness, it will be a desolate place. That I do know. Okay, so I don't know how he's going to do what he does because he didn't reveal that to me. But all I know is he says it's going to be a desolate place, uninhabitable. And that doesn't mean that no one will live here. It means it will be uninhabitable. It will be not a place of desire. Let's put it that way. It won't be a place that will be desired to be lived in. Almost like a desert. Okay? Any other questions? Since y'all don't want me to stop. Any other questions? Now, while we got all these people in the room, I want to make this announcement so that y'all all know. Class starts at 12 o'clock on the Shabbat. And it will be good if y'all are here at 12 o'clock on the Shabbat. We was to talk about the Anunnaki and the, hold up, and the extra, it keeps jumping off, and the extra dimensional beings. Okay, then maybe we'll talk about that next week. Maybe we'll have that class next week. Desolate is burnt. Okay, desolate means to be without. That's what desolate is. All right? It's time to prepare, and Cain, we can't worry how, but be ready. That's correct. How often do you get grounded in the earth? As much as possible. You'd never do too much. The plague is already working. It is absolutely already working. You're absolutely right. It's already working. It's been in the makings for some time. The Most High, you know, the Creator said he can't run them out all at one time, because if he do, the place will be destroyed and you will be destroyed along with it. So he has to gradually make that transition. Gradually. So that we're not destroyed with it. All right. So I'm going to give it just a few more seconds and see if somebody's typing any questions. If not, we're going to go on with the lesson. Okay? Should I teach like this? Just to scare you? Should I teach like this? This, yeah, spooky, isn't it? I know. Thinking maybe I should teach y'all like that. Maybe y'all might like that. It helped to enhance the flavor of the lesson. Shamans would be in the category, I'm sorry sis, I think you put that up earlier. I apologize, my apologies. I'll be so busy sometimes. But yes, a shaman would fall in the category of a witch or a warlock or sorcerer. there were a whole bunch of our people, that practiced what they call voodoo. Voodoo was a religion. Voodoo was like church. Church, they worship JC, they keep JC around, but voodoo was a religion, and they practiced how to command the spirit to do certain things and do certain things, how to put curses on people and how to heal people. Voodoo was a religion, and it was real. Now I ain't getting sleepy. I don't know how to get sleepy. You can't tell? Yeah. But voodoo was a religion. And voodoo, when she says shamans, that kind of like puts you in the spirit of voodoo. There are a lot of ancient practices where people who dealt with the spirit realm, and it's a real fact. It is real, and it happens. Yeah, they probably did. But if you say they did, I understand, and I have to accept that they did. But there's a lot of things that are real in this earth that we, because the Europeans have knocked us upside our head, we don't even know nothing about. And they tell you that these things are evil. But that's not necessarily true. Okay? In the Middle Ages, let me see where we leave off at. The Jewish community of Prague was the first, Prague, was the first to use the Star of David as its official symbol. And from the 17th century, the six-pointed star became the official seal of many Jewish communities and a general sign of Judaism, though it has no biblical or Talmudic authority. Did you see what they just said? They said, well, let me read the screen first. So all these scary cultic movies they make are based on real existences of unknown. That's correct. Yes, they are. Is Yahweh an Anunnaki? He is a man, right, and coming back to deliver us? No. You say Yahweh, I only have to assume you're talking about the Creator. So no, the Creator is not an Anunnaki. No. But we'll talk about all those things. We might get into it next week. If I have the time, and next Shabbat, lesson on an Anunnaki, because I owe that to my brother Dread. So I'll try to do one. Yeah. Okay. Well, that happens. People don't know what things are, and they don't inquire. And you being a child, being raised up in this society, you wouldn't know what's true and what's not true. All right? But I wanted to point out this part here. It says the Jewish people, the Prague, was the first to use the Star of David of its official symbol. And from the 17th century on, the six-pointed star became the official seal of many Jewish communities and a general sign of Judaism, though it has no biblical or Talmudic authority. They say the Magen Dawid has no biblical or Talmudic authority, but I just showed you like 4 different places where it's revealed. The symbol is revealed in a way in which they don't understand, they can't see, because they are not us. They are not who you are. So things will be revealed right in their face, but because they don't have that spirit, they can't understand. The Father says the secret things belong to Him. But that which is revealed, now when He says revealed, it means that thing which is exposed to the earth. When I place it in the earth, it's being revealed. But it's revealed to you and your seed forever. It's not revealed for the European. It's revealed to us and our seed. But yet we need to have our heads opened. We need to have our minds opened where we can return back to the Most High to be able to see which has been revealed. Just because it's revealed doesn't mean that everybody's going to be able to see and understand it. It's going to take somebody rightly divine to be able to divide the word of the Most High for you to understand. Like a lot of the things that we brought forward today. You're dealing with something, man, that a lot of people are not privileged to be able to have in their midst, to hold these type of conversations. to talk about these things, these spiritual elements. A lot of people, you know what? I know there's a lot of people that listen to a little bit that I had to say today that said, this dude crazy. Let me get away from this bull. Or this bull started talking some off the wall stuff. Let me back away from this dude. That's okay. You can hold your opinion to yourself. It's fine. I don't hate you. I'm not mad at you. It just means that what I had to share wasn't for you. And your spirit or your essence is not ready to travel in that dimension. Your portals are not open to that realm of existence. And it's cool. It's all right. But anybody that knows the least little thing about what I'm talking about understands. How do you think the Sister Antoinette just came right in? And I don't even know how long she's been here, but she came right in and said exactly what I was saying. Because the Creator opens up portions and pieces to different people at different times. Everybody ain't going to be able to receive. And let me tell you something else, family. You know, a lot of people use this as a measuring rod and say, well, I'm into the New Testament, the Greek writings, and Prince ain't into the New Testament, the Greek writings. He in the Torah, he Torah only, so I'm not really going to mess with him. Let me share something with you. Truth, the real truth, is not New Testament and it's not Torah. It's not none of those things. The real truth is the Most High's truth. So even if you walk in the New Testament, don't mean that's where you're going to always be. You will elevate eventually. If you're really on the path of truth and righteousness, you will leave the Greek deity and you will elevate toward the Most High by way of Torah. And then you will elevate beyond that, but yet you'll still hold on to Torah. You understand? That's how this thing works. And everybody ain't going to be able to hear and understand what we're talking about. All right, you want to hear a little bit about the difference between the 5 points and the 6 point. Okay. The difference between the 5 point and the 6 point is that the 5 point, I've already told you about the 6. The 5 point, and it's really 12 points, but you only see 6 on that one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But you got to add the other 6 overlaying to fill the holes or the voids, and that's 12. But a lot of people don't see it, but you'll get it later. If you go back and watch the tape from the beginning to the end, you'll see it. The difference is this. They have taken the 5-pointed star and they have gravitated that exclusively toward evil, toward Satanism, toward, if you get a symbol of, what's that symbol? I want to say Beelzebub, but it's another one. It's another word that they use. Bullafon. What is it? Something like that. I can't think of the word right offhand, but it starts with a B. And that word that they have is actually a picture of a goat head. With a goat head with 2 ears, two horns, 2 ears, and then his face. Baphomet. That's it. Baphomet. Thank you, bro. That's why we got to work to see. We got to interlock that. Yeah, that's it. We work together with that. I appreciate that. What they do is they have taken that Baphomet. But don't think for a second that that doesn't hold some energy, because it does. It does. You can utilize that symbol yourself. You can utilize it, but utilize it for righteousness, not for evil. They utilize it for evil. It's a different system. Totally different. They give all glory unto that. That's why they got the goat. Think about it for a second. They got the goat head with the 2 ram horns, the 2 ears, and then the billy goat neck. And they say that that's evil. But now you look all through the scriptures, the goat is all present in the scriptures. In, through, and out. Matter of fact, the goat was a way for you to reverence the Almighty. Okay? So just because they utilize it for negativity or for evil doesn't mean that it is evil. Doesn't mean that the thing is evil. If you go back to the beginning of the lesson, I broke all that down for you so you can get an understanding of that. They simply use it to do what they call their form of magic or worship or whatever they're doing. But if you really get into the nature of what they're doing, outside of the idolatrous practices, you will be surprised of the type of power that they have. And when I say power, I mean the unity, man, the loyalty, the honor. Man, you will be surprised how these people get down. But the problem is, our minds are somewhere else, and we don't know so much about what we need to know. That's correct, sis. You're absolutely right. That's why I taught about the front door and the back door. You can go through the front door to worship this king, or you can go through the back door, and when you go in the back door, you're like a thief. You know, only thieves go in through the back door. The Most High says he created it. Isaiah, what is that, chapter 42 and 7? Something like that. The Most High says he created both good and evil. He created all of this. Even to Satan is an angel of the Lord. That's right. But hold. Let's back up. Brother Dred said, even Satan is an angel of the Lord. I'm going to go a little deeper than just that. Let me go somewhere for you in the scriptures. Because a lot of times we read things and we really don't read it for what it says. Now, for those who are really students of mine, who's always here, this ain't going to be nothing new to you because you've heard it already. But for those who are not always here, and is not always privy to this raw knowledge like this, it's going to be something new to you, a new concept, a new ideal that you can take to your teachers or your leaders or wherever you go. I'm looking for the book of Job. I want to go to the book of Job, the first chapter, and I want to talk about that. All right, it ain't showing up in this book. Oh, book, Job. Yeah, right here. It should be right back here. Yeah, there we go. Job, the first chapter. That's right, sis. He has no power. But it's something else I want to show about Job, about Satan. Now watch this, because my brother said Satan was an angel. Satan is an angel of the Creator. And I said, yeah, but I'm going to take it a little bit higher. And I'm going to share this with you. You know what Christianity teaches you about Satan, who he is and what he does. So let's see what the book of Job says about Satan. There was a man in the land of Uz whose name was Job, and that man was hearted and upright, wholehearted and upright, and one that feared Elohim and eschewed evil. And there was born unto him 7 sons, his possessions, and all that. Let's go down to the 6th verse. Let's go down to the 6th verse. All right, 6th verse. And we're going to start the 6th verse. Now it fell upon a day that the sons of Elohim. Now, what does that say? Who the sons of Elohim? They're not angels. Who are they? The sons of Elohim are the heavenly hosts. The Elohim of the heavens. The sons of Elohim are you, the children of Israel. And that's what you fail to understand. We are the sons of Elohim. Not man, but us. We are the sons of the Most High. Sons of Ha Elohim. The sons of the Elohim. They came to present themselves before the Creator. Now, what is that saying? The Most High, Job, the book of Job is saying that the sons of the Creator came to present themselves before the Creator. Is that right so far? When the sons of the Creator came to present themselves before the Creator, if I said to you, Abraham was there, that wouldn't be a surprise to you, would you? Because you would expect that Abraham is a son of the Most High. That would be cool to you. But Scripture says Ha-Satan was there. Now, how come when I say Ha-Satan was there, when the sons of Elohim came to present themselves before him, I say now that Ha-Satan was there, you got a problem with that. Satan can't be a son of the Most High. Why you got a problem with that? Why is that disturbing to you? It's disturbing to you because you've been hit upside your head. Satan ain't making nobody worship him. There are people who worship him. There are people who give him glory and honor and do all kind of things towards Satan. But these are humans. These are men with that desire and passion that are misguided. This is what they do. Satan didn't make them worship him. Half the things you read in the New Testament about Satan ain't got nothing to do with the Satan that we talking about. My question is that I'm trying to bring light to is that Satan is just a little bit more than an angel. Satan is a son of the Most High. So if I said the sons of the Most High are you, Israel, then who's Satan? And who is Elohim? Who is the sons of the Most High? Elohim only means powers. You are Elohim, and all of you are children of the Most High. Satan is one of us, just like us. But a lot of us don't understand these things because we've been knocked upside our head. And then when the European man gives us back portions of our knowledge, he gives it back to us tainted. And we begin to think that our brother is not our brother. And I know that's hard for a lot of y'all to understand because Satan got a bad rap. He got a bad rap through all this. Let me share this with you. Let me share this with you. And you tell me what you think. If I'm the creator and I create a key, and I create this key to open doors. So you being a man, you take that key that I created, the creator forbid me from even associating myself in that area. Let me go back another way. Let's say the creator created a key. And he created this key to open doors. And we being men, we go take this key and we utilize this key for open doors. And then one day we look at this key and say, this key, these people was chasing me, trying to kill me. They had guns, they had knives, and I was all alone. And I was running, and this key saved my life. So I'm going to take that key, and I'm going to bow down and prostrate to that key and thank that key for saving my life. And I get a big following, and all the people begin to thank this key for saving my life. What is the key guilty of? What did the key do wrong? The key only did what the Creator made the key do, and that was open doors. Satan was made to tempt man. Satan was designed and created by the Creator to tempt mankind. So if he's doing his job as tempting mankind, why does man say he's evil? What did he do wrong? He's done nothing wrong. So why will we say that he did evil or that he is evil when he's done nothing wrong? Nothing. And that's what we don't understand a lot of times. We want to associate the teachings of man with the Almighty. He's not physical. He's an energy. Remember I spoke about energies earlier. An energy. You will call it on the spiritual level. Okay? Let me ask you, it's something else that I'm looking for. Okay. Let's go to I think it's in the book of Numbers. Well, I know it's in the book of Numbers. I just don't know what actual... I think it's 22, but let me see. All right, yeah, Numbers 22. Let's go to Numbers 22. All right. And I'm going to start at verse 21. Remember that story I told you earlier about Balaam? About Balaam and Balak, where Balaam went to curse the children of Israel, but yet he saw how they were so beautiful in the sight of the Most High that he couldn't curse them? Okay. I'm going to read this little story here. And this is about Balaam. Verse 21 is where I want to start. Numbers chapter 22, verse 21. And Balaam rose up in the morning and saddled his ass and went with the princes of Moab. And Elohim's anger was kindled because he went. And the angel of Elohim stood in the way for an adversary against him. Now he was riding upon his ass, and his 2 servants were with him. And the ass saw the angel of Elohim standing in the way, and his sword was drawn in his hand. And the ass turned out of the way and went into the field. And Balaam smote the ass. He kicked his ass to turn him into the way. That was a joke. Y'all supposed to laugh at that. But the angel of the Creator stood in the path of the vineyard, a wall being on the sides and a wall on that side. And when the ass saw the angel of the Creator, she thrust herself up to the wall and crushed Balaam's foot against the wall, so he smote her again. And the angel of the Creator went further and stood in the narrow place where no way to turn either to the right hand or to the left. And when the ass saw the angel of the Creator, she fell down under Balaam, and Balaam's anger was kindled, and he smote the ass with the staff. Now, for anybody who has understanding of what we just read, when you read that, when it says that the angel of the Most High came and spoke, and, well, he did what he did with the sword, and he's going to talk later. But all that type stuff, in Hebrew, it says that that angel was HaSatan. It says that he was HaSatan. He came as HaSatan. HaSatan, or Satan, was that messenger that was sent to speak because the Creator was angry unto Balaam. And he did what he was supposed to do. But if this Christian New Testament dogma was true, he got kicked out of heaven. So how could he be working for the Creator? The Creator is angry with him. Okay? Satan didn't get kicked out of heaven. In the book of Job, it says that when the sons of Elohim appeared, Satan was right there. He's a son of the Elohim. He's a son. Yeah, you're right. So many lessons was dropped today. I think I gave y'all enough to hold y'all for a little while. I'm going to close it out. I'm going to close it out and let it ride. It was so good. So good. May the Most High be pleased with our efforts. Okay. All right. Wonderful. Are there any other questions? Does anyone want to ask any questions today before we close out? Does anyone want to ask any questions? Antoinette, it's really good to see that you can travel like that. That's a wonderful thing. You know, I don't meet a lot of people that can actually do that. So it's good to know that you can. Are there any other questions before we close out, fam? If there's no other questions, we're going to call this a wrap. We done did this thing for 3 hours. Excuse me. Are there any other questions? I know, bro. We'll talk about that later. Thank you, sis. I'm glad you enjoyed the lesson. Shalom, Nat. Shabbat shalom. You're right, Moray. Your hands will be in the air also. You're absolutely right. All right. Are there any questions? Respect to you too, bro. Hey, listen, fam. Go back to the beginning. Watch the lesson. Share it with everybody you know. Let's take this thing into a higher level, man. This understanding got to come forward in the earth. And Temple Kifarim been doing this for a long time, many years. And only a limited amount of people have been getting this knowledge. Shabbat shalom, Franny. Maria Granger. Shabbat shalom. Not a lot of people have been getting this knowledge. You know, we need to spread this. We need to help people gain this knowledge so that they can grow in their wisdom and understanding toward the Creator. Because this actually teaches people how to discipline themselves. If you listen to all of these lessons on my YouTube page, on my Facebook page, they actually teach you how to discipline yourself to grow, to be a better individual. So I would suggest you go back and you begin to watch these lessons because they're good. These are things that we need. These are things that will develop us toward a better life. I'm glad you enjoyed it, sis. So if there's no more questions, we're going to close it out. All right. May the Most High be pleased, and may you always allow your best light to shine in the midst of such a dark, dark earth. May the Most High be praised forever and forever. Shabbat shalom lakim.